Naked Gun
And-
listed in the sports movie category makes me laugh. That is funny to me. I have no idea how it ended up. I'm looking at the stuff on Naked Gun and looking at it as a sports movie. I'm like, okay, no, that's silly. Like, okay, fair enough.
This is the Police Squad. Leslie Nielsen, O.J. Simpson. This is not the Police Squad. Priscilla Presley, Ricardo Montalban, Mikhail Gorbachev. I knew it. And Reggie Jackson in his first dramatic role. The Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad.
Everyone should have a friend like you.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 2nd at theaters everywhere.
Available on video cassette. Lieutenant Frank Drebin is some kind of cop.
Is this an official bat?
He's a thorough investigator.
Security?
A master of the martial arts. He's smooth undercover and a dedicated partner.
Oh, Frank, everyone should have a friend like you.
He's even an expert at protocol. Leslie Nielsen in The Naked Gun. Available on video cassette from Paramount. Reserve your copy today.
For a treat, lots of giggles, lots of laughs. If you've never seen Naked Gun, you've got to go catch up. Well, that's why this lady's in the house. That's right. First time watch review with Squeeka Mouse. Lady, I made you giggle already before you even started, so I'm happy to know the Naked Gun has delivered some fun times for you. So
it is intense. It is that airplane genre of comedy. Like it's a mix of Airplane and Blazing Saddles all in one. And I was there were it never stopped, and it was I was like, oh.
So this is going to be similar to Airplane references that I've made. It's the same creators as Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams. Of course, they work with another guy named Pat Proft, who writes a lot of gags and works independently with them on different projects that happen as well. But this was originally called Police Squad. It's a little TV series that Paramount picked up. It only lasted 6 episodes. And I told you, and folks, if you want to Google it, it appears to probably be pirated stuff on Vimeo, I believe, but it didn't cause any spam or issues for me watching them on my phone. I don't have a physical copy of them, but imagine Naked Gun in like 20 minutes. Like every episode is like a cop show, and every episode's like, got to go catch this thief. But all those type of gags are just condensed into like 20 minutes because it's a TV show. So I watched that as my precursor for Naked Gun, and it is a blast. And this movie never stops, as you say. Like it starts right out of the gate.
Out of the gate with the siren, like the little cop car
siren.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's their theme, but yeah. We have O.J. Simpson who's breaking in. He gets shot, of course, and then it's one shenanigan after another before we get to Drebin. But yeah, it's one of those things where the bear trap is the best. The bear trap just die with
the wedding cake.
Yeah. And the siren's great. You'll enjoy the siren intros probably because there's 2 other sequels to Naked Gun, 2 and 3. I did watch 2 again. The problem with 2 compared to Naked Gun is that Ricardo Montalban is so good as the villain. He is so good as the villain, playing it straight. They hired Robert Goulet to play the villain in the second one, and he almost feels like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't feel right. I think he's trying to play it straight, but I don't know. This is not there. There's no menace. So a lot of the gags and stuff are just sort of like meh. And then there's other things I feel are almost too tame for Naked Gun, if that makes. I know that's crazy to think about, but imagine. So in the sequel, it felt more parody rather than the gag. So have you seen the movie Ghost, the Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore classic where they're doing the clay? They're like this thing.
But
where
I know the scene. Yeah, I know the.
Yeah, they're parodying that scene for the sex scene instead of like in Naked Gun where they have full on body protection, which is a way better spoof. So, but yeah, whenever we got into this, from the opening, and then you get to this is just a little highlight reel. This is where I loved, and I wish I could be in the room to see how Squeeka laughed out loud over the misdirection of, the opening scene. Of course, Drebin's there in the Middle East and all these 80s cliches of all these leaders. And he's like, you don't know what it's like to be a man. She's gone, whatever. And it's like, no, it's Weird Al Yankovic. And I,
I was like, yes, a Weird Al cameo. I was like, and that's I love this about the character Drebin. Like he's constantly doing these things, and that's part of his gag. Like even the small puns where, like there's the blimp pun where she's like, "Good year," where she's asking about the blimp, and he's like, "No,
right,
it was a bad year." Or
horrible
nightcap,
year.
"No,
Yeah.
I don't wear those." Like I
Mhm.
love how oblivious he is, but also like such a good like cop or in the moment, like he's a crime fighting kind of guy, but has absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Mhm. Yeah, he is sort of like the blundering idiot who's so good hearted, you just can't help root for him. Has a lot of similarities to the classic Peter Sellers Pink Panther Inspector
Yes.
Clouseau, which we're going to do a talk hard on here soon. We have a talk hard coming up about with one of his favorites, which is called A Shot in the Dark. I don't think you've seen that, and you will not ever forget seeing that because it's got a scene that's yeah. So, but yeah, Drebin is sort of like this great straight man of playing things off, and it works so well. And then they just kind of work in gag, like, and it's like you're watching this and it's like everywhere I look and it's like I I'm sorry. It makes me laugh every single time. I know it's coming and I still laugh out loud.
Well,
Then of course
and with
it's
a
the
comedy like this, like like once you get to the point where, you've got the scene in the Middle East, and then you've got the scene with O.J. Simpson and all the running gag of all the stuff he runs into, and then the way he talks and the scene at the airplane, it sets you up for what kind of comedy this is going to be. But
hmm.
even knowing that there's going to be gags, that he's going to have, these puns and these misunderstandings of words, it doesn't make them any less funny. You still keep laughing.
Yeah, and then you get into where they do like they do like the physical gags where Drebin is again the clumsy Inspector Clouseau type stuff. And this is an area that I actually am shocked that they don't still do it. So we talked about it on a recent Talk Hard. We do talk about it regularly, is how they don't really do comedies much at all anyway. But when they do, they don't really do it right. I don't totally get why they don't do more clumsy comedy where it's just like the goofy guy who's just sits on the desk. I don't know why they don't do more goofy comedy because it doesn't always make me laugh out loud, but I'm having fun. I'm amused. Isn't it okay to just be amused sometimes, Quick? Can't we just be amused?
You can just giggle, like, it's like watching clowns, you can just laugh. Like, why can't we just laugh? There's not any kind of message here, wokeism, whatever. There's nothing here. It's just funny. It's just, haha, the bed folded up, you know, or like even going back to the thing with OJ and the cake, and then the bear trap, and then the wet paint. Like, it's just funny. These are all of the things that people can have happen to them while not paying attention, and they all happen to him at one time. Like, it's just that, what is it, slapstick comedy, where it's just like,
Yep, definitely slapstick. Yep, it's
and I love this scene with the wife too, where the chief is trying to be hopeful, and then he turns to the wife and he's like, "Yeah, and it could be like this," and she cries again, and just even gags like that.
yeah. Unless he's a blubbering idiot, like and it's like, oh, he's welcome back at police squad anytime. Unless he's a blubbering idiot or a
Yeah,
vegetable. That goes without
vegetable.
saying. He's just yeah, yeah.
Like when he
No
says, "I love
tact.
you," I
No,
love you too, but who did this?
who did this? Yeah. When Norberg was saying I love you, he was talking about the ship. And he's like, I see that now.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's like he's admitting I did not know that before. It's like, well, yeah, obviously. So, but yeah, the wife does a great job. Um, and then you get to, I'm going to have a full confession. So that's all I'm going to say. We're going to do the scene first. We'll talk about it. So we have the scene where Drebin's going to be introduced. He's all wired up to the mic. And of course, it becomes a bathroom gag because he goes to the bathroom, he's peeing, and
Oh
the
my
microphone is still on for everyone to hear. Absolutely nuts.
At first, I confess. Okay, so I was like, haha, the microphone's still on. I lost it when it kept going. Like all the noises, the way he's just standing there, the little dribble, and then it starts again. Like it's just like I was like,
Yep.
gag is going on for so long, but it's still so funny.
Yeah, I mean it's been done in other stuff too, and it just doesn't get old. Like Austin Powers has like the marathon pee where he pees for like 4 minutes or whatever, and that's kind of like a joke in our house. We watch one of the animals pee extensively. We'll joke about it being something Austin Powers related or whatever. But this is just as fun. It's just so great. So
What makes it funnier is they
so
keep cutting back to the lady. Like they keep,
uh-huh.
she keeps trying to talk over it.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
honey, just let it happen. And then you see that moment where she's like, okay, we can talk now. And then he starts again. And I was like,
He
yes.
does again. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. So I think I've told this story. Well, we'll zoom in. I think I've told the story before. However, for Squeeka, I don't think I have. My first marriage, they wired me with a microphone. Back in the day for video, they would do video and the sound or whatever so they could catch the vowels. Well, I had the microphone on and I had to go to the bathroom. Now, the camera is just on the auditorium of people sitting in this church. So no one heard anything except for me and the videographer who was going to edit this material because you hear me literally scurrying through this hallway, running to go to the bathroom, going to the bathroom and coming back. So imagine a church with all these people, all very serious, very emotional, whatever. They're dressed all nice in this church, and you hear this dude peeing in the back. Yep, that's happened to me.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm sorry that happened to you,
Absolutely
but
incredible. Don't know where any of that footage is. I have no shame. I moved on. Life, she's not my current wife, so it's from the old archives of shenanigans, and indeed. So yeah, but yeah, good stuff. What I loved about so there's an ongoing thing that happens in the police squads and Naked Gun type stuff is that Drebin can't drive. Just it never stops. He just cannot drive. So when they pull up to the scene, he crashes and knocks the guy into the water.
Oh my gosh,
There
the
are several others.
airbag scene. The airbags.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where the car takes off. And he's like, Chelsea,
Yeah, that's
who's driving?
later.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
is.
in
But
here? Yeah, here it is.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
who's driving that car?
Yeah, that's this one. Yeah.
And then he shoots at it and it just makes it go faster. Like,
Yeah, it's a burst into place. Yeah. And then you have that quick shot where he's like, wait, that might have been my car. Yeah. That's Leslie Nielsen genius right there. The way he knows how to play that just right. Play Drebin just right. Because you're still rooting for him. Like it would be kind of like at some point you get sick of the antics or, you don't want to root for the idiot because he just deserves what he gets. But no, I don't know. Brilliantly done. Just brilliantly done.
well, you know the character going into it. And that's what makes it funnier is you know the character going into it. And it's not that you get sick of it. It's almost like for me in the airplane was the same way. I'm like, I want to see what he does next. I want to see what he messes up. I want to see what he doesn't catch as far as what's being said to him. Like you want to see what happens because there's sometimes where things are said to him and he gets it. And you're like, oh, I thought for sure that's going to be a joke. And then there's other times where like, oh, this is going nowhere. And then it turns into this big scene and it's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And so you don't get sick of it. You do just enjoy this character and what he's doing.
Yeah, you're just along for the ride. It's just
Oh yeah.
that's fun. Another gag that is interesting, I wanted to see if you picked up on was it's very subtle in the movie. It's very, very consistent in the TV show. They'll have scenes where everyone else is frozen. So something's happening. So here you have Drebin and Ed, and they're walking into the scene. But notice they're not actually moving. There's going to be a guy in the other background. He's not moving. This guy's talking. but no
Yes.
one's actually moving. See, they're all frozen in the background, stuff like that. Another gag that's just like, what is happening? You sort of like smirk or you have amusement. Now, some scenes they do that in, they will hold the people that are frozen will be frozen for so long, then you laugh because it's uncomfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you ever see someone try to hold it for so long? That's also good. I like that a lot.
I
And of course,
especially love
the
this one where
dead.
the guy's like yelling at them, "Nothing to see here," and they're just smiling and looking off.
Yeah. Do you want to take a dinghy? No, I took one before we left. Then
Oh
we
my
cut to
gosh,
the scene. Yeah.
and I love
He
the
invents.
setup
Oh,
here. This anticipation of his office because he has this pen and he goes off on this tirade about all of his art and his vases and his fish, and you're like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
mhm.
But it's just the pen and the fish. And it's such this buildup of this like, "Urgh, I wanted something more to happen." And of course, like it does later in the movie, which kind of fulfills that, okay, look, something did happen. But just in the scene, because it's happening where he's talking about his expensive painting and how he collected these vases and this art, I want it to happen all right now. And so that
Yep.
buildup of that basically that skit going throughout the whole movie, waiting, just waiting for something to happen in this guy's office.
Yeah, it's one little piece, then another little piece, and then another little piece, and then we make you wait, and you feel like, oh, it was fine. We know they're going to give you another payoff much later on.
Well,
This
and then it
scene,
does it again where he's like catches the vases and you're like, "Oh, it's not going to really happen." And then it yeah.
yeah, he burns the whole place down. Yeah, and I think what's interesting is just there's such a great mixture of the silliness and the slapstick, but also like the story is actually moving forward. So now the villain knows the police are onto him. I know, believe it or not, guys, there actually is a story. And this is actually the crux of what makes Naked Gun work so well is and I'm not going to spoil anything. David Zucker talks about this regularly. This is the key to making slapstick and this type of fun comedy work is he'll say when something doesn't work, it's like we kind of forgot about the story here. It become more about the gags and the jokes. So there's one called Top Secret with Val Kilmer as the lead. In the very end of the movie, sort of like the last 20 minutes or so, they're just kind of doing crazy things. They kind of forget about the story. They just kind of forget. Naked Gun does not. Naked Gun is buttoned up.
No.
It's very funny. They do such a good job of, hey, now the villain kind of knows, but we have some silliness. Like you said, they're going to come back to that office later on to have more callbacks for the audience, and then also, use it as the vehicle to kind of ruin him, basically.
Oh, and then we meet Jane.
We
I
get to
love
this shot
Jane.
here. Yeah, I gotta get to this shot. This shot's the best. Like, wow, it never ceases to impress. Yeah. Oh
I
man.
love this
Yeah.
movie.
I know. Had to be a fun one, right? Just so good. All right, what gag is next? Okay, the gag next is possibly one of my favorite lines in all of movie history.
Is it the beaver
So,
line?
it, how do you
I
I can't even tell you how rewarding it is.
Yes. I just had it stuffed.
I just had it stopped. I Man alive, it never gets old.
No.
My wife will be anywhere, anytime, and there's beaver references, and she will just look at me and just be like, "No,
Oh,
just
see,
no."
I would be that person that would be like, "I just had it stuffed." That's all I would say.
Well, I don't, but I don't want so the thing is she knows that I'll make references when they're funny, and it's mostly funny, like Naked Gun, when it's completely out of character to the environment. So you know what I mean? Like if we're hanging out, like if you and Loki and we were hanging out, and I made the "Hey, nice beaver" gag or whatever, we'd laugh, we'd giggle, but that's not nearly as funny if we're at like a dinner party from my work, and for some reason, like they have a beaver monogram on like a napkin or something, and you yell out, "Hey, that's a nice beaver."
Oh,
That's
my friends and I
just
do that all the
way
time,
better.
even prior to this movie.
Yes, yes, that's a nice beaver. Hey, I just had it stuffed. Yes.
Like, he lives next
Yeah,
to a
this is
pond,
the
and
one moment.
I'll even be like, "I saw your beaver today."
Saw your beaver.
But so speaking of real life stories, so the gag before this, when they first meet and she falls down the stairs, I've done
Hmm.
that. I've been at a fancy dinner when I used to work downtown for this company, and everybody's all dressed up, and we were in one of these. It was down at the Driscoll in Austin, and they've got the staircase. So I did the thing where I stepped off the first stair wrong, rolled down the steps, tried to comport myself at the next landing, missed that too, rolled down like I literally would stand and go down and
Wow. You didn't get really badly hurt from all this?
no, I guess I'm just a good marshmallow or something. I don't know. I just kind of
Wow.
stood up at the bottom, and it made me laugh because it was exactly like the scene where I just stood up and kind of fixed my hair and was like, "Oh, hello everybody." Like,
That's great. That's great.
so I
I
felt for
love those.
Jane.
Yeah, I do love Jane. Priscilla Presley plays it so well. So because she said I'm not much for comedy. I don't know that I can pull this off. They're like, no, that's exactly why you need to have the role,
Mhm.
because you're going to be playing it straight. Like whenever Drebin's doing these things or whatever, and yeah, yeah, they're great. They're great together. Great chemistry for sure. So
Oh my gosh, and their date day, the scenes, the things they did. Oh my gosh.
yeah, yeah. Let's see if we have a shot of. Yeah, here we go. We have a shot of the shenanigans, the dates.
I've done
When they
this.
just clothesline other people. Yay!
I've been at beach trips with friends where we've done this. And the best part is the onlookers, when you do it with your friends, so you kind of know it's going to happen, but you act like you don't know each other, and then onlookers get so crazy. Oh my gosh, did you see those people?
Yeah,
It's like, no, okay, we're
yeah.
friends. It's all right.
Let's see if we have. And this is the romantic stuff. A little bit of that.
Oh, the blimp.
Yeah, she's in his shirt. We slip into something more comfortable, and he comes out
Oh
all
my
buttoned
god.
up.
I wanted him to come out in the bunny suit thing that what's her name? Von Stroop came out in.
Oh, Von True. Yeah,
I want him to come out in something
Blazing
sequiny.
Saddles.
I really did. I was like, please come out in a sequiny one piece, please.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because she has nothing to wear yet. When she comes out, she's got like basically like the equivalent of like an evening dress on as well. So, Naked Gun is just the perfect blend. It just does such a great job. We have to do a little blurb on the because again, a similar gag they love to do, and this is why I think it works, and why I can't figure out why they can't make comedies, because everyone should be able to relate to the student driver
Oh my
cliches,
gosh,
right? How
yes.
do they? Can we just do more student driver cliche? Like we've all seen it and done it, but it doesn't get old. It's so much fun when you know.
And the way she like she's like, all right, I'm in it now. And I love the glass pieces they leave in her hair. But my
Yeah.
favorite part, and he's like, okay, extend your arm out the window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's coming.
I
Yep.
love her.
Step on it, Stephanie.
And she's
Then of
all
course
in
it
it.
leads to just shenanigans, and then you get to like the meme. This is the famous meme. There's nothing
Oh
to
my
see here. Please
gosh.
move along. Actually, to be honest, it's kind of fun to know that Naked Gun will always live on in the meme world for that kind of thing, because this is glorious.
Oh, the whole thing
This
was
is
glorious.
glorious.
I'm like, oh, huh, of course he's getting right into a a gas tank, and then he hits the gas tank, and then, oh, was it the rocket
He's
next? I think
riding
it
a
was the
missile at one
right,
point.
yeah, and then it
Yeah,
goes from the missile to like, and it just the way it progresses, I was like, this is beautiful. This
yeah,
is
the fireworks
absolutely
truck. Mhm.
beautiful.
All right, then they do the stakeout, and that's when you get to, and then again, I know you laughed, and that's why I'm sad that I can't be in the room because I know you laughed when he opens the desk drawer and goes bingo.
Yes.
He pulls out a bingo card.
He did that. I was like, I love you, Frank.
It's the best.
But he doesn't really have a
And
bingo. And I was like, oh, you lied. You didn't have any of those dotted off.
oh man, I tell you what, next time you watch one of those movies, you laugh at one of these cheeky gags, you'll be like, I know, Pops will be proud of me right now because that's exactly, every time this movie gets me with bingo, and then of course, it is sort of like the and then of course, why would he have this piano that plays like that retro sort of music? And it just becomes funny shenanigans behind the back and over the counter. The fire.
Oh my gosh. And then he's like, he tries to save the painting and then ends up, oh, I loved this scene.
Yeah. And it's funny because I love how you brought that up, that it's sort of like a great callback to the opening sequence. I don't necessarily always think of it that way, but that really is so true of how it serves multiple purposes. And again, it still serves a story that's so important. And I love it. I think it's great. I love that you love it too.
Well, I think what makes these gags funnier too is they are, I mean, over the top. It's like with the guy hitting the gas truck and the rocket and the fire truck thing, or even the bear trap at the beginning. They set you up in such a wonderful way because like when he's um OJ's getting onto the ship. He's like got his equipment out. He's so serious. When Drebin's at the office, he pulls the paper out from under the cards and he leaves them perfect. And you're like, oh, he's redeemed. He can do things like this. And then there's the fire. It's like, oh, maybe not so redeemed.
Yep. Yeah.
But I love
So
how they
good.
do that. How it's not necessarily just one blunder after another. It really does have him do super serious cool things every now and then. And then it's and then it's the wall. But
Yeah. And then you get gags where it's well, my policy is when I see a guy getting stabbed in the park by 5 people, I shoot the bastard. He's like, that was
it's
Shakespeare in the park. It was Hamlet. You killed 5
Julius
thespians.
Caesar. Yeah.
So great. So great. I just want to let you know how much fun it was to see this movie in the theater when it airs. Because, I mean, it didn't feel like a lot of people would enjoy movies like this. Like, I mean, everybody loved them. Like, you felt like I grew up and people liked Airplane and they liked Blade. But I think that by the time Naked Gun came out, there were so many action movies, and comedies were more like a lot of romance comedies, things like that. And for Naked Gun to sort of get this way, it played right into me and my friends and the stuff that we really love, where we could just laugh at the absurdity of life. So the fact that it took off like this and become such a well-received film has been a great reward as well over the year.
Well, even if there were a
See,
lot of comedies back then, and I understand if there was a big influx of them, and that's why they kind of died off. I wish we had more like this. Like even the Adam Sandler type of comedy. Like I just wish we had more comedies like this where it's a guy that gets folded up in a hospital bed. Like
yeah, just do
like,
some of that. And this, like, stop talking while you're firing your gun. I can't understand you.
Well, and I love the obviousness of it. Like they go in there and they're fighting, and there's this big barrel that's labeled toxic waste. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what's going to happen. But then they call back to that too, right? They
or
call
even
back to that too when the guy goes into the sludge and you see his finger with the ring on it.
mm-hmm.
And then when you're at the baseball game and he has the hot dog and you're like, they called back to that too. Like
Yes,
that
I love
was,
that.
oh man.
But I love the
See, that's good
silliness of the
writing.
scenes, like that one where it has his name everywhere. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ludwig's on like 6 different things. Yeah. And then you get to again, other police squad classics where you have sort of like the reaching in the pocket gags, where
Oh,
it's like,
yes.
whoa, you got, so what is with this here, buddy? Who else has got a picture of Ed's wife? Like, it's it's fantastic. He's grabbing Ed's wallet instead of the guy's. Yeah, good
Or
stuff.
even the scene where he tackles the queen on the table and causes the
Yeah,
hullabaloo.
that's what
Oh,
comes up
and
after this,
and
right?
the
Yeah.
and the pictures where if when he's going through the papers, the pictures are all
hmm
different.
hmm Yeah, I'm trying to get to the shot of the queen and
Sorry, never gets old.
huh?
I can see some of them. It just never gets old. Like it just
No, it does not. It's
their faces.
and this actress, God bless her. She's in it to win it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the pictures of the newspaper clippings laying on top. It's because now
They're all
now
different now.
she's flipped over. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doggy style now. Yeah, Nick's pick flicks the queen. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. And then, of course, he's packing up and he finds evidence from a previous case. I guess so and so was innocent. Oh, you got the chair. Like, oh my gosh, it
Oh my
just
gosh, yes.
never lets you breathe. Never let you breathe. And I think I told you this last time we talked, or it was on Talk Hard, where I talk about how these guys back in the day when they started doing comedy together, they were uncomfortable in a crowd and on a stage. The only time they felt comfortable, people were laughing. So the idea was keep stacking jokes so rapidly, people would never stop laughing and they could just get through their stuff really fast and easier. So when they started doing screenplays and started doing work like this, that's why the jokes just keep coming. That's what they're used to. And yeah, there's really not much of a downtime at all in any of this because as soon as this starts to kind of seem like it's on its decline or whatever, then they got to go to the baseball game. They have their clues, and you
Hmm.
get to. I mean, there's so many gags with the baseball stuff. I don't even know where to begin, but uh,
I love the
yeah,
way he feels. He pats down all of the players. Like
mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna be Enrico. Let me show you. I gotta look his name up. I'm gonna do it wrong. Naked Gun, the singer's name.
oh, Palacio
It's
or something.
Enrique Schlazzo. Yeah, Enrico Palazzo. So one
Oh,
of the famous one of the famous stories is that when Leslie Nielsen actually passed away, ESPN put out like the obituary for Enrico Palazzo,
oh
who
my gosh,
basically
yes.
he played an umpire in one game. He's the only umpire in baseball history to throw out another umpire. It was all a Naked Gun reference, but it was published by ESPN. It was so great, so brilliant. People, there's such a fondness for this type of stuff. And this is why, when you and I were talking about like we need to have more laughs together. Just have more laughs together, people.
Need to
Just go
laugh
for it.
hard. Laugh hard.
Laugh hard, baby. Yeah.
I love and I love the fact that so many people in the background are like, what?" But then there's so
What
many
has
that are
happened?
like, okay." I love the scene where the cops stop and put their hands over their like,
Yep, and then he has to become the umpire. So
I
never miss a gag. Never miss a chance for the gag.
I'll
The
leave you
janitor
two
walks
alone.
in. Yep, never miss a chance. Just saying. How many times did you pause this movie? How many times did you have to rewind this movie?
I lost count.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I love I feel like I don't know, I'm a different person with this and Blues Brothers and some of the Sandler gags and just like Blazing Saddles. I'm like, oh, I feel like there's this whole genre of movies that we need today more than ever.
Mhm. Hmm. Yeah, I plan on just keep throwing them your way over the next bit, and just keep letting you know that no matter how this is one of my like prescriptions of what movies are kind of for is, you know, we all need cries, we all need laughs, we need these things, and in large part, cinema is supposed to kind of tap into those emotions, and we have just like put laugh hard on the shelf for some reason, and I don't know why, and there's no reason for it. Even though movies have some comedy in them and there's some funny jokes and gags in most movies, these movies are elite machinery to tickle you, to make you have, get that funny bone, and just, warm your heart with some laughs and some silliness. And we just need so much more of this brought to light, making sure people see them and know about them. And just it doesn't matter what you're just, even if you're just, your kid doesn't need to watch all of it, but you could show them a little scene where, you know you, when they're in little league and you see him just acting like a complete buffoon,
Hmm.
calling balls and strikes.
I like when he searches the pitcher and he pulls out like the Vaseline and the like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the illegal items. Like,
Yeah.
and there's references in this movie that you may not get because they were references for their time. But it's to me, it's like Blazing Saddles. Like it's like it doesn't impact it in any way whatsoever. It's still so funny.
Yeah, I think that there is like the context will still work. That's why this movie is so elite. And it's pretty rare that you have a reference that you can't appreciate. You may not be able to totally appreciate it, but you get it a little bit. And then as you learn more, you have more context, it still works. I think Naked Gun is definitely that. Like you can get the announcers and the gags with Jim Palmer and whatever. And then later, if you found out who they actually were and you started to realize that how they would actually banter in real life, you realize that that's even funnier because of how
Hmm.
they're kind of mocking at themselves, right? You get all the gags, things like that.
And the lady,
Um,
oh, I recognized her, but I couldn't remember what from. I know that the lady announcer wasn't one that was typically a sports announcer, or she did something else. I feel like I
yeah,
knew her
yeah,
from
yeah.
somewhere.
Well, there's Dr. Joyce Brothers is in it as well.
Yes,
They use
that's
her a
that's it.
lot
Yeah,
for gags, for sure.
I
Um,
knew that she's from something else, and I couldn't remember what it was, but I knew that she wasn't supposed to be there. But
yeah,
even then,
and
like I said, I didn't know who she was exactly, but just the way she's sitting there and the way she acts, you're like, wait a minute.
mhm. Then just the baseball fight is just it's absurd in so many ways. Um, they also have just silliness mixed in with that. The Queen, of course. Then you have the reoccurring gags. They're throwing chairs that they wouldn't even have, and then the callback to the lab scene, which we didn't talk about the lab scene, but the cufflinks, and that actually takes down Ricardo Montalban's scene. Um, and Ricardo Montalban, look at him selling it. Look
Oh
at him
yeah.
selling the pun, the parody.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, this scene where
yeah. I know it got you. I know it got you.
sorry, the marching band.
Steamroller and the marching band. Oh my gosh.
And I know it's silly, but it just it's so beautiful.
And then Ed levels it up again because Ed's like, "That's how my father went. That's exactly how my father went." And you're just, wait,
With the
what?
marching
Yeah,
band,
I mean,
the steamroller, like
yes. Which part, Ed? It doesn't matter. We don't going to tell you. And then of course the sweet, simple, speech between Drebin and Jane, the appeal to "I love you and will you marry me," that kind of stuff. So a story, right? So I have to have a gag, have to have some fun, but it works great. And then it's enhanced by the fact that everyone overreacts to that. Like, oh, it's like, yeah, no one knows who these people are. No one, nope, we're just gonna overreact. I'm sorry, I yelled at you and whatever. And yeah, and then Nordberg has to show back up again for one more gag. One more gag. So I'm not even going to ask you to rank it. I'm just thrilled that you had such a great time watching it. For me, this is
We
the
didn't cover
regular
the
cycle.
statues, the wall scene
The stat. Wait, which ones? Which
where he's
part?
climbing outside the wall and the different
Oh yeah,
statues.
I'll get it for you.
You don't have to put that one up.
I
That's probably
yeah,
not
not
good.
all of them were in that clip I had pulled up. Let me get to some of the photos, and we'll definitely do that here. 1 second. Yeah, and again they just kind of come and go. You get some gags.
The face.
It's so a lot of times. So the best stories is listening to these guys talk about this kind of stuff because it's been a long time now. A lot of them have done interviews, and you're listening to them explain that they had these they'll have these dry pieces in the story. They don't really know what to do to fill the time or whatever. And it seems like Pat Proft in particular is the guy that, or maybe a Jim Abrams, they would those two, not the other Zuckers, they would leave and they'd come back where they wrote these scripts that are very innuendo, but the key is to never be too raunchy, just enough to make everyone. So that's the kind of stuff that he'd come back in the room and just leave it there for them. There was no you would think there'd be a pitch or a discussion or no, he would just write it. Drebin climbing on this, and this is what happens, and whatever, and they just start laughing. And usually the response is, "Can we do this?" And we just
Yes.
got lucky that the studio would let them do it. It's like it's the scene in Airplane, right, where she's talking about her memories with him and whatever, and it's like how I'd wriggle on your face, and then we watch the sun come up the next morning. Like
Yes,
that
it's
was
just
just
like, wait,
it
what?
was just writ. Wait, what did she just say? It's like just keeps going. That's the kind of stuff they would just kind of. What are we gonna have her say here? Like, how do you punch it up a little bit for a laugh and whatever? It's like, yep, this is exactly that kind of scene. How do we get Drebin? How do we move him from? We have to add some gags like this. The statue gag is great. That statue gag is great. Let me see what else is. Here's something else we didn't really get to or talk about that'd be worth note. Again, I don't think it's a huge thing, but for me, it's just like when Ed is eating, he's eating like everything at a base. It's like, and then he has a whole like chocolate cake, and it's like it's just the absurdity, like you were saying earlier. Like we get that it's not real, but we're still laughing along with it. I love watching the extras in the background in these scenes. By the way,
Me
always
too.
fun.
And I like the older movies too, just for the kickback to the cars or the clothes or I just think it's silly, but they were like some of the things they wore and.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. I wanted to show you too some of the. There's a couple behind the scene photos that makes me laugh, and it just kind of shows who they are. Because this is their producer in the middle, I believe. Let me see, make sure I got that right. Yeah, the producer's in the middle. They kind of get, you know what I mean? Like we're not going to just pose for a photo regular. We're going to just do something.
Love that
And
idea.
that's, you know what? They get it. You know what I mean? They get it. Like you feel like, all right, I see what you did there. All right. Yeah.
See, now I want to get some friends and pose in that pose with them and be like, look, our Naked Gun picture.
This one's even better because you feel like if we're going to have all these people in a room or whatever, we're going to take a picture with them.
Yes.
So, like, again, the writers. And
I love that
I don't
after
know where
he was fighting them, they had like name tags after the fact. Like,
yeah, and this is one of those things that you feel would have aged badly, but they give you just enough of context to go, okay, I get it. It's the people around the world at that time. Okay. And then if you learn a little more, then you're like, you really get the gags and how funny it is. Like, yeah, really good stuff.
I loved the Gorbachev spot and him rubbing
We rubs
it
the
off.
spot off his, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's
knew it.
definitely one that you have to have been there for, like during that time period. But still, it just I'm like, who didn't want to try to rub that off of Gorbachev's head? Who didn't?
No, it was like a regular thing that was joked about. Like it was
yeah.
not even like a little bit. Like that was a huge thing for back in the day. It was like this whole thing on his head and whatever. And so yeah, elite movie for me. Definitely in that top tier of stuff that we watch very regularly every year. different times of the year when we have the mood, kind of strikes you. And I will admit that you gave me an excuse to watch Police Squad, and I
I
didn't
want to
watch the
watch
third.
Police Squad.
Yeah, let me remember to send you a link to those episodes, or and I'll try to make sure I'm going to search it here. Police Squad episode 1. So when you search them, you can put in Police Squad, the episode number. You'll have the name of the episode, and as you scroll down, it's called Video Daily Motion has them. So they're going to be about 20 minutes long. So um, they have them. Vimeo and Daily Motion has them, and you can watch them. They're about 20 to 25 minutes long. So put in Police Squad, the episode. There's 6 of them, so you can do episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and as you do, you can find them, and they're out there for free on those 2 platforms. So definitely make you some more. And the gags there are more consistent. Like the formula, they're always going to cut to the science guy. He's got a little gag with one of the kids, and they do something zany. They have a gag with the there's a tall guy in Naked Gun, right? The
Oh yeah,
guy
yeah,
that's
the
so
tall
tall his
guy that
head's
they're
not on the
always
screen,
they never put. I
and
love him.
the banana that falls out of his mouth. That type of gag. Yeah, so those type of gags, and then you'll see the original Norberg, not Nordberg, the original guy. They changed him for the Naked Gun. But yeah, fun stuff, and it makes me laugh to know that I made you laugh. If that makes sense,
I
makes
love
me
this
happy.
movie. I mean, and like I said, I love this genre of comedy. I understand it's not for everybody. It's like Blazing Saddles. It wasn't for everybody, but it's so I don't know. It has so many gags that you can it gives you the ability to look past some of the things that most people might think or some people might think is offensive. It's just so funny. And we need more of this. We need more movies where you just go in and you laugh. Like I mean, not be offended like, "Oh my gosh, there's a statue of a naked woman or man," or "Oh, there's this guy setting fire to these priceless art." Like there's so many things to nitpick that could be bad, but it's just so funny.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I was little, and Airplane was probably one of the first times we saw boobies. Right? I mean, it was probably one of the first movies. You know what I mean? I was little, 9. It came out 80, so I was in that first years. I don't remember exactly when I watched it for the first time or whatever. So it was not. Um, it was just enough to make and get me to watch the movie and start laughing at the absurdity of the movie and all that. And it was their way of mocking and dealing with. Same with Blazing Saddles, mocking the racists, mocking the prejudices, mocking the absurdity, things like that. And then the genre has always stayed very special for me for that reason. And yeah, Naked
And
Gun listed in the sports movie category makes me laugh. That is funny to me. I have no idea how it ended up. I'm looking at the stuff on Naked Gun and looking at it as a sports movie. I'm like, okay, no, no, that's silly. Like I just okay, fair enough.
I mean,
Okay,
he did get an obituary
it
on
is true.
ESPN. I mean, like
It is true. It is true.
I
So,
could
but
see
good. I'm glad
that.
you had a good time. There is a Naked Gun sort of continuation. I don't know if you were aware of that or not. They're doing a new Naked Gun, and it comes out later this year with Liam Neeson as Drebin, but he's not Drebin. He is actually Drebin's son. So the original reports kind of were a little misleading because it seemed like he was just going to be playing Frank Drebin, but he's actually playing the son. And they have like Ed's son is there, and they kind of have a shot in the trailer about Nordberg's son. So yeah, it seems like it feels like it's supposed to be slapsticky. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It doesn't come out for another couple weeks from when we're recording this. I probably will kind of have to tease it first before I see if Mrs. Pops will go, because she's going to have a very low tolerance for bad comedy. She needs something that's going to be pretty good for her, because this is all sacred ground, as you can imagine. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
having just watched it, like I don't know if I could do that so soon. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm curious to see, having just watched this one, I'm curious to see how they do it. And but I don't want to ruin this experience by going and watching a bad remake.
Yeah, no, I would rather you watch Police Squad. I would rather you um, let's tee up another one of these comedies to throw your way. Something else from the classic vault. And again, we have Talk Hard coming up, where we have a lot more. We've done some Adam Sandler stuff. We're gonna do a serious Adam Sandler on Talk Hard as well, but we also have an action movie coming up. But we also have some great comedies as well, adventures and fun that we just need to lean into. One of the main reasons of entertainment is the escapism, and give people a breather and stuff like that. So it's fun to live vicariously through Squeaka's eyes that it's the first time she'd seen this. So I hope you folks out there have enjoyed that for sure. So
I
any
do miss
sort of
movies and entertainment for entertainment's sake, like for the
mhm.
sense of going in, and even if it's not necessarily a full escape, like the idea behind these are fantastical stories that don't necessarily have a hold on what's going on right now. And it's just a story. And too many people, I think, are using them to push agendas or messages or non messages, or they're fearful of putting things in there because it won't coincide with the viewpoints of people today. And like Blazing Saddles, it didn't necessarily coincide with everybody's viewpoints, but it was funny and they did it anyways. Same with
Mhm.
this one. I'm sure there were groups out there that when Naked Gun came out were like, OMG, there's boobies and naked body parts. I can't believe y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it was. I don't remember anything particularly. I know it would be more of an issue with the Mel Brooks stuff for sure. I think there was definitely a bigger issue with that. However, and Blues Brothers as well. There was some stuff, but I have to give credit where credit is due. For whatever reason, Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles are acclaimed. They're in like the National Library of Congress as far as like historically significant. So it's not as though the prudes always win the day. And I think that's what you're saying is we can just say this is really good and fun, and just go watch it and have some laughs for that, and just put all the rest of it out of your mind for a minute, for sure,
Well, or even
for
just
sure.
be not afraid to make movies for you know what, this seems like a fun premise. This is satirical. This is funny. This is a good comedy. This has got a lot of slapstick. Let's go out there and make this movie. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I feel like there's too much of that fear of we have to have so many people like it and buy into it.
Yeah, there's people that do something very similar to all this. So you'll probably hear people who, if you interact with enough people, you'll hear them talk about, oh, the scary movie. You would like the scary movies then, or you would like basketball or whatever. The South Park guys. Now they lean more into rated R comedy most of the time because they have a different type of audience, a different type of approach, and things like that. These guys don't do that as much, right? So they're
Hmm.
trying to have more of a widespread. These guys, the Zuckers and Abrams, they share my belief of not doing the rated R content, not because of me being an uber prude, it's because I wouldn't want to limit my audience. If I can make something I feel is true to my vision, I can still make the booby and something jokes, but I don't have to be vulgar. I can keep PG-13, so I have more people who can see my material than I would if I lean into some of the other stuff. That's all. In the scary movies, they brought in these guys, so a lot of the scary movies were done by these same folks, and they tend to be more parody of other material. So I will be honest, I don't feel Scary Movie works as great if you don't have any context to what they're referencing, if that makes sense. You can still laugh along with it because it's absurd. The absurdity is almost like selling the movie short, because if you get the references, now it becomes hysterical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Uh, yeah.
But and
So, but
and
with Naked Gun, I don't feel like they don't really spoof anything significant enough to take away from the goat. These jokes just are great.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I feel like there's a difference between, like, I get the R-rated comedy versus things like even Blazing Saddles or Naked Gun. And it's not that they don't have any of that risque humor in it. It's just not, to me, there's a capacity limit. Like you can have too much of a thing.
Mhm.
And a little sprinkle here and there, or a joke about where my white women at, you know what I mean, like every now and then is fine,
The
but it
black
doesn't take.
sheriff, right?
Yeah.
It's true. It's true what they
Woo.
say about you. It's
Sprinkle it
true.
in, but if it's a
Uh-huh.
constant stream of a sexual innuendo, it's not, to me, that's not funny.
Mhm.
If Blazing Saddles had fart jokes the entire time, it would not have been as funny,
Right. Right. Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's why I kind of tend to lean not more towards the R-rated kind of um comedies. Like I've seen some episodes of South Park, not a whole bunch of them. Um I like this style of comedy. This slapstick, you never know what's coming kind of running gag, and then with all the callbacks and just like I said, I love, like, even in Airplane, his character where he does the thing so perfectly 1 minute, it sets you up to not know that the thing that he's fixing to mess up is about to mess up. And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think like leaning into the absurdity and just pushing the edge is fine. I think like Waterboy works better, like with the booby gag. I saw her boobies. It works better that we in the audience didn't see her boobies because you
Mhm.
lean more into the shock factor of what he saw. Because I don't know, maybe her boobies weren't that impressive. I don't know. They sure were to Bobby. They sure were to Bobby. So I love it, and I think this is a fun time to be able to share these with you and to do this experience, folks. If you just haven't watched it in a while, tell you what, just kick your feet up, have some laughs. Hopefully, you've had a good time hanging out with us. I always love hearing Squeeka giggle. It's fun. I wish I was in
You
the room. I
need to
wanted
watch.
I wanted a video of you witnessing the beaver joke for the first time. That was what I was hoping for, but I don't have that
I'm
capacity yet.
sorry. We
That's what
forgot.
I
We
want.
were so in
That's
it.
what I want. I know. I'm like, that's what I want when he walks in. Hey, nice beaver.
Yeah.
Thanks. I just got it stuffed. And you're just like, that is home run gold that never gets old.
Nope.
So,
Well, and it made, like I said,
um,
my friends and I joke about that. Like he has a pond with a beaver. Like we did the beaver joke all the time. So even seeing it and knowing it's coming when he says, "Hey, nice
mhm.
beaver," like the after line that I just had it stuffed, and then she hands it down. Like, oh, that
Yeah.
was so beautiful. That was amazing. Because he could have just
Yeah.
left it there, but no, there it is. He gives her his beaver, or gives him her beaver. Like there
Yeah.
it is.
Nice beaver. Yeah.
Nice foreshadowing.
And like I said, they never let you rest, right? Because she has to have her line. And when, like, if you laugh over that line, then you miss, and you watch it the second or third time, and you're like, did she just say she got it stuffed? Like, I mean, it's just, it never stops. This movie's great. This movie's great.
That's
Well,
why I use
Squeaka, thanks for doing
captions,
this.
so I
You
don't
gotta
miss a
watch it.
line.
Yes, you gotta watch it. Definitely. I gotta rewind that so I can watch that again. I missed a line. Yeah, we're gonna try to fit it in. I know she's got some work stuff that'll be coming out here soon, so we have to rush and make sure we keep things busy on our schedule. If you enjoy hanging out with us, enjoy us every week on Talk Hard. That's Tuesdays at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. We do a show or conversation every single week. We're gonna try to have another special edition here back with Squeeka. I'm gonna try to get her to watch Some Like It Hot, and if you guys have never seen that, man, Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, Marilyn Monroe, it is sort of like that very first major, like big, successful, shocking comedy from back in the day. Like it doesn't feel as much now, but it also feels more uncomfortable for those people who would be tweaked off by it. Like it feels like it's gone around where it felt tame for a while, and now it's come back around. We're like, oh wow, they're should they be, so I love it. I think it's a classic, and it's a lot of fun. It's not as slapsticky as these. It's a different type of fun, and I think it's going to be a good time for her to experience that one. So that'll be one to come up for us up next. So
I'm
make sure you check
excited.
our Blazing Saddles conversation, because Lord knows that was also a ton of fun as well to talk about that classic movie. Yeah, I know. And it's funny because I still had the videos loaded from Blazing Saddles, and most of them had copyright issues, but this one didn't. Believe it or not, this one didn't have any issues.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
That one, that one's fine. I
That
Yeah,
made me
don't
still
know,
makes me
don't
laugh.
know. Many of the others had to be tweaked and modified even more, but that one was fine. So there we go. But folks, listen,
Thanks
I
for
hope
having
you
me
are
again.
blessed. Yeah, this is the best. I wish we could do it year round, but it gets harder and harder with scheduling. But you know what? I know that these movies will make the regular rotations and be able to keep a smile on your face, even the tough and fun times for sure. That's definitely the dream come true for me. Why I do this?
I
Why do any of this?
I'm glad to experience them for the first time, but it's so much more fun. Some people may be like, "Well, but you're watching it for this thing," but it doesn't take away from it. I love that I get to share this experience with someone that knows so much about film and so much about these films
Mm,
or has seen them already and enjoys them too. Like this has made it so much better than just if they had popped up on my screen and I'm like, "Oh, I haven't seen that before. Let's watch it." So I
right.
really really enjoy doing this with you. It makes the whole experience so much more fun.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just loving that part of this too. Trying to get that into the hearts and minds of more people is to share your experiences, share your loves, and I think it just builds our culture together, and our friendships can grow, our relationships can grow, and I think it's wonderful. Although the only regrets I have is that we actually don't get to do these things in person, where I could actually be in the room and experience those giggles firsthand, because that would be the dream come true.
I don't know if you
Mrs.
could
Pops and
handle
I are
the
sitting
pauses.
there. Oh my gosh, she would just be like, "This is the best," and because we've done it with our kids, and we're getting to the point now where we're going to be able to do it with some of the grandkids because they're getting a little bit older now. And still not for these movies, but for others, where they're transitioning out of a lot of cartoons, so they'll be able to get into more live action movies. So first, I got to watch Twister with my grandson, so he kind of got into tornadoes or whatever. He wanted to watch it, so wasn't for the littlest one, but it was for him. It was kind of fun to experience that again through his eyes for the first time. So that was kind of cool. But I love that experience because it takes you back to not just what you experienced the first time, but also what you love about it. You know what I mean? I think that's what it really hits. It's these emotional buttons that we don't press enough, is what we love
Yes.
about it.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, and you being
I'm
part
an
of Talk Hard's been part of that for sure.
I'm a weather girl at heart, so Twisters is one of my favorites. And I watched it again in my later years on the IMAX, like the big huge screen
Hmm.
with all the that was wild where you're tilted
Yeah.
down and I was like, "Oof."
Yeah.
That's a
Twister and Independence Day were the first two movies where I sat in the theater and it when they had it would shake the auditorium. The sound was so intense, and I was like, the world has changed now. Like if movies can shake the auditorium and add sort of like a different type of effect. You had a little bit with Jurassic Park with the dinosaur, when you have this, but it wasn't as much as it was with Twister and with Independence Day. Those are the two where it shook the theater. So I
Oh, well,
love it.
this was
Love it.
the big IMAX
Yeah, yeah,
screen
yeah.
and
IMAX. Oh, I would love to
the
see it.
tilted
Uh,
down seats and the
Mm.
it was wild, and it's even crazier because 'cause I've been in a tornado, so it's like it was so
Mhm.
surreal. It was love that movie.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. It's great talk. So, well, folks, be blessed. Get out there, find something to make you smile, laugh hard. I think that'll be our theme for this. Laugh hard. So, thanks again
Laugh
to
hard.
Squeeka. Laugh hard, and you guys take care out there. We'll see you next time.
This is the police squad. Leslie Nielsen, O.J. Simpson. This is not the police squad. Priscilla Presley, Ricardo Montalban, Mikhail Gorbachev, I knew it, and Reggie Jackson in his first dramatic role. The Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad.
Everyone should have a friend like you.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 2nd at theaters everywhere.